even dying to find out who you are.
Then why didn't you? Honestly, I'm getting kind of sick of reviewing Hazbin Hotel. It just feels like one problem after another, which is actually so weird because I actually enjoy the series, despite how weak the writing is sometimes. But yeah, today we're taking a look at the whole Morningstar family and how absolutely nothing about them makes any sense. Now without any further ado, let's get right into the video. I'm gonna say it now. The drama between Charlie and her father makes no sense at all. Both the pilot and the first season of this series make it seem like Lucifer is this neglectful father, as if he doesn't care about Charlie and sees her as useless. But then, when we finally get to meet Lucifer, he is nowhere near as bad as he's been made out to be. In fact, I can't help but sympathize with him sometimes. From the get-go, it seems like Lucifer deeply cares about Charlie. The moment he realizes that Charlie needs him and that she's inviting him over, he jumps for joy and heads over to her immediately. Don't know about you guys, but I'm not getting the sense that he sees his daughter as worthless. In fact, he seems like a dad who genuinely just loves his kid. So, this had me thinking. Maybe Lucifer was the type of dad who, despite the fact that he loved his daughter and loved his family, he always put his dreams ahead of them. But then I rewatched the series, and I started to wonder, what dreams? We're told in the prologue that after Lucifer was banished to hell, he stopped dreaming and lost all hope. And as much as he spends his days making rubber ducks, I'm not getting the sense that he does anything with that. Wait, so was Lucifer even a neglectful father? Because in the flashback of their life, we see Lucifer sitting over his workbench and little Charlie wanting his attention. He not only notices, but calls her to come closer, and then he entertains her with stories about his lofty dreams. Nowhere in the story do we see Lucifer be neglectful, or behave in a way that would make us believe that he sees his daughter as worthless. This discrepancy just makes it seem like Charlie is delusional. She's not seeing things for what they actually are. She thinks her dad sees her as useless, only for that to not be the case. She thinks that he doesn't care about her. But between the two of them, he's the only one who's called in years. Sure, it might be when he's bored or needs help, but he's called, he's reached out, and done so seemingly numerous times. It just feels like Charlie sees her dad's actions through the worst lens possible. Lucifer calls. He's only doing it because he's bored. He tries to protect her from Vox. Vox was able to spin it, and apparently everything that went wrong at the rally was Daddy's fault. And then the one that annoys me the most. When Charlie wants Lucifer to set up the meeting with heaven for her, Lucifer says that he doesn't believe in the sinners. And instead of taking it for what it is, instead of facing facts that she doesn't have any proof that redemption is possible, nor does she have any proof that her hotel gets people closer to being redeemed, she takes Lucifer saying that he doesn't believe in the sinners as him saying that he doesn't believe in her. Because of course that's how she takes it. She then has the gall to drop this little gem after he says that heaven won't listen to her.
They won't listen to you.
You don't know that!
Charlie, remember that you're talking to your dad here. Before Adam and Lilith were even created, Lucifer was already an outcast amongst the angels. They hated his ideas long before hell was even a thing. Back when this guy was still a powerful, respected angel, they wouldn't listen to him. But you think that they'll listen to you, despite the fact that you don't have a shred of evidence that any of what you're saying is true. Like I said, delusion. However, I might just have a way to fix this part of their relationship. By the way, if you like this video so far and you would like to support myself and the channel, there's a link in the description and comment section that you can use to get yourself something off Amazon. I get a small commission when you do. Back to the video. I think that everything between Lucifer and Charlie makes perfect sense. If and only if you bring Lilith back into the picture. But that also comes with its own set of problems. Imagine this. When Charlie was a kid, Lucifer and Lilith split up. Lilith took Charlie and raised her on her own, leaving Daddy locked in a room with his depression. And growing up, Charlie is told that Lucifer sees her as worthless, which is why he never comes to visit. And Lilith tells Lucifer that his daughter doesn't want to see him, so he never visits. All of a sudden, everything here makes perfect sense. if you've grown up your whole life believing that your dad is awful and sees you as useless, then it's quite possible for you to see everything that he does in the worst light. So, Charlie is no longer delusional, but is instead just blinded by emotion. And Lucifer being so afraid of disappointing Charlie also makes sense. Lilith came between them. However, there is still one small problem with this theory. This show sucks at continuity. Firstly, we don't even know if Lucifer and Lilith split up. Because in season 1, Charlie says this.
After he and Mom split?
But then in season 2, Lucifer says this.
You know, I am married. Still.
So which is it? Are they still together or not? And let's just imagine that they are in fact not. This theory still doesn't work. Because now, we have to factor in the way that Lilith neglected Charlie. I swear to God, this show can't just stick to one thing to save its life. Let's just ignore the fact that Lilith neglecting Charlie doesn't make any sense. Because why would she expect comfort from someone she's never gotten comfort from? If we take Lilith's neglect of Charlie into account, then immediately 2 questions pop up. Why and when? They say that she put her mission to unite all of hell ahead of Charlie. But didn't she only do that 7 years ago? For context, Charlie herself is over 200 years old. By the time this neglect started, she was already an adult. So then, if it's sooner than that, like maybe 100 years sooner, when Charlie was a child, why would Lilith, a character who's been described to be this brilliant leader, why would she try to get people to rise up against heaven before they even had the numbers? Why would she risk having heaven strike that early? I need to take a nap. None of what goes on in this family makes any sense. The moment you try to answer one question, 50 more pop up. And I know, apparently season 3 will focus more on this family and their shenanigans, but it's honestly just too late for that. Charlie and Lucifer have already made up. Trying to explain their issues now is just stupid. They should have talked about these issues before they moved past them. Or at the very least, once they'd gotten comfortable with each other. Honestly, I don't think there's any hope for this family and their inconsistencies. Hopefully Vaggie knows what she's marrying into before she says any I do's, because yikes. Speaking of Vaggie, if you want to know what I think about her, click this video up here. That's been all from me, folks. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.